friends, welcome back to my channel, and in this tutorial we'll be seeing how can you destroy buildings in Blender. Of course not in real life. So let's hide these objects, the light and the camera, and we will be making the default cube break apart. So first of all, just you have to enable a add-on. It's a pre-built add-on in Blender. So go to add-ons and search cell fracture. Make sure you enable it. We will be making the patterns in which the cube will break. So we will be making it from the annotation tool. First of all, let me explain. This is a tool which will just scribble all around the 3D area around your 3D cursor, but we don't want that. We want that the annotation come in the surface of the cube. So for that, let's delete this and go to 3D cursor to surface. Now if we draw out there, so you can see the scribbles are just sticking on the surface of the cube. So let me delete it. Yeah, I know it's looking rubbish, but we want it to look rubbish because I don't think any of the cracks in the world would look something like Statue of Liberty or something like that. So the annotation is completed. Now we will open the search menu and search for cell fracture. So now we'll be playing with the settings. So first of all, let me set the own particles to the source point to annotation pencils and this thing to 160 and the recursion to 1. And before clicking OK, we have to make a new collection of something like broken parts so that our this menu don't get just rubbish and all. And don't forget to select the cube, otherwise it will not do anything. So let me delete the annotation, and as you can see, all the parts have come into a new collection called broken parts, which we have just made right now. So you can see some wiggling lines and some wiggling patterns on the cube because we have not switched off the visibility of the default cube. So let me off it. So you can see our broken parts are not doing anything as we have not give a physics to it. So let's apply a physics into it. Just randomly select a broken part and go to the physics tab and select rigid body. Now you can just see it will just fall around hopefully. If we play now, it's just falling down, but only that piece is falling down. We want all the pieces. So first of all, we will select that piece and then go to the collection and select objects. Go to object, rigid body, and copy from active. It will take some time for making the physics. So if we see, it's not breaking down, it's just falling down. So we have to first bring it on 3D cursor. So I'll turn on the snapping and turn off the visibility of the default cube. So now we will be adding a plane which will be of platform S and 10. This looks okay. So we have scaled it 10 times of its size. So I'll turn off the snapping and adjust it. So even after adding the plane, the cube is not breaking because we have not applied the physics to it. So let's apply the physics and set it to passive as it is not gonna do anything. So now we can see that our cube is breaking, but something looks unreal. If we see, the smaller parts have 1 kg as well as the bigger parts have 1 kg. So which is realistically not correct, because I don't think that this big piece of the broken cube will have equal weight than the smaller ones. So for that, we will first select the objects, go to object, rigid body, and calculate mass. Now we will have some options, so we will choose brick pressed. So now it will calculate the mass, and as we can see, this piece have different weight than the smaller ones. Yes. So if we play it, this looks more realistic than the before, because smaller ones are falling as their weight is, but we don't want just that our cube will just fall around the plane over. So we want an object to hit the cube so that it breaks. So for that, we will be adding a sphere right now. So we will adjust the sphere to the corner where the smaller pieces are there and scale it a bit. Scale it smaller. So as it is in position now, we will be animating the sphere from here to here. So let's start animating. First of all, let's select the sphere and start animating. So now we have animated our sphere. Let's add physics to it. So make sure that you check the animated option, otherwise it will just drop off like that. So if we see, the cube just don't break when the sphere hits it, but breaks before. So for making it break by the sphere, first of all we have to adjust the z-axis, and then we have to select the cube, a piece of it, go to the deactivation and start deactivated. Before that, let me increase the friction. Now dynamic deactivation and start deactivated. Now if you see, we have only added the physics to one piece, so let's add to the others just by the same method. So now the cube is not breaking before the sphere hits it. But as we have added the same physics to the cube, the whole cube, so we will just calculate the mass again. Now it looks good. So if we see, when the sphere hits it, it just passes through the small objects like this one, and we don't want it as it doesn't look realistic. So first of all, we'll select the sphere, go to the scene settings, which is up there, and go to the rigid body world and increase these two settings. I'll just increase this one to something like a big 300 and this one to 20. Now if you see, it looks something better at least. So if you see, it haven't changed that much which we expected. So for doing it, first we have to animate the animated option in the physics of the sphere. I know you didn't understand this, but okay, there is a practical. So let's go to the physics tab by selecting the sphere. Let's animate the animated option. So when we animate the animated option, that means we will just go 2 frames before the impact and just release the animated option. That means it thus will go and make the cube break by its own physics. So our animation looks pretty cool, but we see this ground plane is too small, so let me just scale it up. S no, 10 would be too bigger. I think S4 would be perfect. So this was it for this tutorial, guys. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon, and don't forget to like and share this video to all your colleagues, family and your friends. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.